The story begins in Italy, 1940, the time when the country stepped into the chaos of the Second World War. Amid the echoes of soldiers' boots and air raid sirens, we meet a 12-year-old boy named Renato. One bright afternoon, Renato's father takes him to buy his first bicycle. His eyes shine with the kind of joy only a child knows. Riding through the narrow cobblestone streets, Renato races through the heart of the town, wind brushing his face, laughter echoing. When he stops to show his new bicycle to his friends, one of them suddenly whispers, "She's coming. Sit down." Confused, Renato looks around, and that's when he sees her. Walking gracefully down the street, dressed in soft shades of summer, was Malina, the most beautiful woman in the town. The sunlight seemed to bend toward her. Every step she took, time itself slowed down. Renato's young heart forgets to beat for a moment. That was the day he fell in love, a love that would never fade no matter how many years passed. Malina's husband was a soldier fighting at the front lines. Her father, an old teacher, lived alone, deaf and fragile. Every man in the town desired her, and every woman despised her. For men she was temptation. For women, she was the mirror of everything they could never be. Days pass. Renato can't stop thinking about her. In the classroom he dreams of her instead of studying. After school, he pedals his bicycle to her street, waiting quietly across the road, hoping to catch a glimpse of her face. One evening, Malina steps out of her house. She glances toward him and with her calm and elegant voice says, "Hey boy, could you buy me some cigarettes?" Renato freezes. He imagines her calling his name, smiling, walking toward him. But when he blinks, it's all in his head. He's just sitting there, lost in his imagination. That night, Renato sneaks into his father's closet, steals a pair of trousers, and takes them to a tailor. He wants to look older, old enough for Malina to notice him. When his father finds out, he scolds him harshly. "You're still a child, Renato. You don't even know what being a man means." But Renato knows what he feels. Every night, he climbs the big tree beside her house, peeks through her window, and watches her silently listening to music, dancing alone under the dim yellow light. He never meant to spy. He was just bewitched by her loneliness, her sadness, and her quiet strength. One day, the town announces names of soldiers killed in the war. Among them, Malina's husband. The town mourns briefly, but for most men the news sparks desire. "She's a widow now," they whisper, their eyes burning with lust. Malina, shattered by grief, moves in with her father. Renato watches her from afar, sitting by her window, crying silently. Days later, he steals one of her drying dresses, holding it close at night, lost in his fantasies of love and comfort. When his parents find out, they beat him and lock him in his room for days. Even hunger can't kill his obsession. Soon, gossip spreads. Women in the town begin accusing Malina of seducing their husbands. Men make crude jokes about her. Her father receives a cruel letter saying his daughter sleeps with men. Heartbroken, he throws her out of his house. Alone, Malina moves back to her small home. One night, Renato sees a local officer visiting her. The boy's heart breaks. He watches as the officer leaves her house and gets attacked by a jealous man whose wife believed Malina had stolen her husband. The chaos grows. The officer's wife files a case against Malina. In court, Malina stands silent, humiliated in front of the same people who once adored her beauty. She wins the case, but loses her dignity. Her lawyer, pretending to help, takes advantage of her, a cruel reminder that even kindness has a price. Left without income, reputation, or hope, Malina makes a decision that changes everything. One night, she cuts her hair short, puts on bright lipstick, and walks through the town square. Men who once gossiped about her now fight to light her cigarette. She finally accepts the role society forced upon her, the bad woman. Renato watches from a distance, heartbroken. He loves her, yet he's too young to save her. Time passes. Malina becomes a shadow of her former self, loved by none, used by many. Until one terrible night, the town's women, furious and jealous, drag her out of a hotel. They tear her clothes, beat her mercilessly, and shave her hair in the street. The men watch, none step forward. Not one. Bloodied, broken, and humiliated, Malina disappears from the town. Renato watches her go, helpless. Months later, the war ends. And one morning, a man walks into the same town, Malina's husband. He's alive though one arm is gone. People stare, ashamed. When he asks about his wife, they stay silent. Some even lie, saying she disgraced his name. Renato, trembling, writes him a letter that night. "She never stopped loving you. She's in Messina." The man leaves quietly to find her. A year later, the town sees a miracle. Malina returns with her husband. Her beauty is calmer now, but stronger. Her eyes no longer seek approval. She walks through the same streets where she was once judged, and people now greet her with respect. Women who once spat on her now whisper, "Good morning, madam." Malina smiles back, not out of pride, but forgiveness. As she shops in the market, oranges fall from her bag. Renato, now taller, picks them up and hands them to her. Their eyes meet for the first time truly. He says softly, "Good luck, Signora." She smiles, then walks away graceful, dignified, free. Years later, Renato would say, "I loved many women after her. Some held me, some kissed me, some asked if I'd remember them. I said yes. But the truth is, I never forgot her, because there was only one woman who made time stop. Her name was Malina." Society can destroy what it doesn't understand, especially a woman's freedom. Malina was never guilty, only beautiful and brave enough to live as herself. Do you think if it wasn't Malina, but another woman, society would have treated her any differently? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like the video, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next story. Until then, bye bye and take care.